I already love it because as soon as you said, like, are you kidding me or what? Terry's eyes just rolled, and I was like, "This is going to be a great episode."
The Church of What's Happening Now, motherfuckers. February 18th, the day before the devil was buried at sea. Fuck him in the ass, Andrew, for building us this. I still got the devil with the tongue out.
Fuck him in the ass for building it for us.
Fuck all this shit. Tomorrow's my 52nd birthday. It's a beautiful day to be alive. I got the Flying Jew here, my beautiful wife, Terry Clark here. What's happening, people?
Hey, buddy. You gave me... I had 1.5 edibles so far.
Oh, stop. I gave a brownie. I gave a fucking brownie that was delicious.
But it's huge. It was delicious, but it was a big... Come on, you've seen most edibles. This thing was like a brownie you get from Starbucks, all wrapped up in
oh, it's fucking beautiful. That's
saran wrap.
Anarchy, don't fuck around.
So I had half of that and then a star. So we'll see what happens.
What do you think's gonna happen? You're gonna see?
I think I'm gonna end up at home eating Girl Scout cookies again.
Fuck yeah, no Thin Mints. What's happening?
As if you weren't gonna end up at home eating Girl Scout cookies without the brownie.
What's up with you, fucko? Everything all right in your world, my beautiful wife?
Yes, fucko. Everything's fine.
How was the suit today with Mercy?
It was good. Oh my God, the chimpanzees were crawling on the windows. She was losing her gorillas.
What zoo do you bring her to?
The LA Zoo.
Is it fun? I've never been down here, and I used to love going.
It's
to
a lot of fucking walking.
It is a lot of
a lot of walking uphill.
Uphill, downhill, under bridges.
It's amazing. For
over
6
bridges,
fucking animals.
and there's nothing there.
Oh, there's not that many animals?
No, there's a lot of exhibits that are closed.
Okay.
Every time we go, there's a fucking by the way. I'm walking around. One time we went in the summer. It was so fucking hot. The animals didn't come out. Then another time we went in the winter. It was so fucking cold. We went like on your birthday one year. Freezing, and it was all uphill. You know, I mean, it's all fucking uphill.
Uphill. He got winded at the entrance of the zoo.
We
didn't even get to we got to the flamingos, which are the very first exhibit.
I shouldn't be laughing. I was sweating putting together that shelf.
That took you an hour.
You know, for you people around the country.
Oh my God! And you did it upside down.
No, I don't. Well, no, I did it the right way.
Okay.
For you people who are freezing all over the country, my heart goes out to you. It's fucking 84 degrees here today and hotter than fuck. So that's what you got. Yesterday, I told you guys a couple weeks ago that we were even. That's it. I don't want to hear no more of these people sending emails that the church helps your life because, you know, I just couldn't fucking take it no more. You know, I don't know if Jesus didn't help this fucking many people. All of a sudden, this fucking podcast is helping people. So I tell you guys we're even because every week for like 2 years I would write on the top of my daily planner, my daughter's name, Jackie. And I finally got enough courage to fucking call. So I called on the 3rd of February, and I told you guys in the podcast, and she didn't call back, you know? So I started thinking about it. I wasn't mad. I knew that I got a couple emails. In fact, I had a lot of emails from people that had been through the same thing. But Joey Rooklyn said that she didn't talk to her dad for a long time, and that he opened up the lines of communication, and she was pissed off, and he was persistent. You know, I don't know if I'm persistent to open up the lines of communication. I just wanted to let her know how I feel and what she has available to her. You know, I have a family now, I have a little baby, I got a wife, and that's it. After that, whatever the fuck she wants to do, she's going to do. You know, she's going to do or believe or whatever the fuck. So yesterday morning, I was in the shower, and I was getting my balls worked up for the day, what I had to do, and I remembered that she didn't call, and I had wrote this week that I was going to call back. So this time, I called back because I wanted to put a little pressure on him. And I called back that I was coming to Boulder for a few days. And 2 hours later, I didn't hear nothing from them or whatever. So I started the process of contacting a private investigator. And I spoke to a private investigator for about an hour about what had happened. And he said he's going to start looking. And I hung up with the private investigator. I ran a bunch of ads.
So what? If you knew you were calling the right number, what are you calling the private investigator for?
I was calling the right number because just in case I didn't call back.
Okay.
You know, when I'm in a hotel some nights after a comedy show, I'll go back and drink coffee, smoke a joint, and come up and look for her.
Oh, like
and
on
there's
Facebook?
never been.
She's nowhere.
She's a ghost. So
the whole family. Is
the whole family is a fucking ghost. So I contacted a private investigator. I spoke to him for a while. He said, when you're a criminal, all you need is your name and your date of birth, and they'll find you. But when you're a fucking civilian, all they need your social. So I don't have a social.
Okay.
So what they did was I told them everything, and I hung up the phone. I was fine. And yesterday afternoon, my ex-wife called back. and we spoke for about 20 minutes. And, she told me the same shit, that the baby was busy. Well, she's not a baby no more. That she was busy. We caught up on her family. Her father had died. We spoke about him for a few minutes. And believe it or not, I told her that whatever happened 20 years ago between us, I wanted to apologize for, on the topical side, on the top. I don't know how I feel inside still. And she said that the kid would call, Jacqueline would call in a few days.
Did she say she got your first message or no?
I didn't ask at that point. I didn't really ask or whatever.
I'm assuming
she got it.
She didn't call
She
out
got it and she disregarded it, And then it was funny. I called a private investigator after we spoke to explain to him that she had called, and we started laughing. And he goes, here's the other thing, though. I found her. I found your ex-wife, her husband, and 3 of her kids. That kid that you have with her, they hid her. They changed her name. They even changed her first name.
Wow.
That's how fucking much they had her hit.
What do you think they're doing this for? Do you think so you can't find them, or
it's been recently since that happened, because on her high school graduation, we found a picture of her at her high school graduation with the name that we know. So I don't know what caused her.
But maybe a year after that, I contacted her on Facebook. And she erased her Facebook thing, and after that, she probably told her mother. He contacted me. She put the fear of God in her. He's a kidnapper. He's going to kidnap you, whatever. So that's what happened. But the truth of the matter is what was always going to happen. In fact, yesterday when I was talking to her, I realized how white she was. Like, I realized how fucking white she was. Like, we were talking about her father dying, and I go, how did Jackie take... Oh, Jackie was crushed, we might even have to send her to therapy. She's fucking, this is what I didn't want to hear. But I realized how fucking gentrified she had become. And that's what her goal was her whole life. So the last thing people like that ever wanted was me to come back. When I left in 95, and I've told the story 1,000 times, they figured that I was going to get high on drugs, get arrested, and just disappear. Maybe die, or end the rest of my life in prison. They never counted on this.
Yeah, they don't want him to come back, no matter how well he's done for himself, how much he's cleaned up.
But weren't they coming after you for child support for all those years?
Yeah. They every time a different show. I could tell. As soon as I booked a TV show, I'd prepare because I'd look at the date when it was going to air. I remember when Cold Case aired. We got a bunch of letters from them in 2003.
As soon as The Longest Yard came,
oh my God,
they started. I mean, we never even. The checks were just cut in half.
The checks were cut in half. They went into my bank account after The Longest Yard. She never wanted. She wanted to punish me for what I had done. Like, it was always like a punishment to her. But the other punishment was me never talking to Jackie. She never wanted me to tell my side of the fucking story. That's not a good story.
Did any part of you ever think maybe I'll go to court and get my visitation or?
Yeah, but it was a goal without my reach. I could have always got visitation. It would have cost me $2,000 to get the attorney, petition the court, wait 6 weeks, a fucking plane ticket, and go out. She would have never allowed it to come out here.
But he had visitation back
I had
then.
Visitation. It was just shitty visitation, 5 hours a week.
Oh, okay.
You can't be a dad. I know coaches who see their kids more, So, but it's very interesting how, even till today, she hasn't called. It was 24 hours ago. They're preparing her. I guarantee they're getting her a phone with a tape recorder. That's what they're doing right now, so they could tape the conversation. Listen, man, I have a family. I have a daughter. I made a mistake 25 years ago, maybe not. I made a mistake or maybe not.
In what way you made a mistake?
I went for my life. I was living in Boulder. I was getting tortured by these people about being a parent. I was fighting for my fucking life. If I got a check for $900, I would keep $200. You ever been in that position?
No.
Getting a check for $900 and having to go pay the term. I mean, it was just a horrible way to live. And we were going nowhere in 95. Her and I were not going anywhere.
That's the story of almost every split like that where the kids are involved.
My parents went through it.
Was it ugly for them for a while?
Well, they got divorced when I was a senior in high school, so it wasn't so much of. And they should have gotten divorced probably 10 years before, at least.
You felt it growing up?
Oh, God, yeah. And they both said afterwards, oh, we stayed together because of you guys. And
well, that doesn't make anybody feel better.
It's terrible. It's terrible when parents are fighting. But, yeah, like today, at this point, my dad, he used to be, like, kind of intense, and there would be a lot of fighting. And then recently he wanted to be more chummy with my mom, and my mom just wants no part of it. So I understand both sides of it. So, like, my question for you is, they must have said bad things about you too.
Absolutely, absolutely.
A portion of them, on paper, are true.
Absolutely.
So, like, how are you gonna handle that?
I'm gonna tell them my truth.
It's the truth. There's nothing to hide about. It's the truth.
It's the truth.
He made a lot of mistakes, but he's turned himself around, and to not factor in that truth as well as all the other truths, you're not getting the whole picture.
But in the beginning, I didn't make a lot of mistakes. In the beginning, they just didn't want me around them. They had made a conscious decision. I remember, and I was telling my wife this story, how, they took me somewhere that I didn't want to be. They really, really did.
But even the judge told them that.
And I don't even know if people understand this at home, where you go somewhere, somebody takes you somewhere, there's a part of your anger and your rage that it takes you somewhere that you don't want to be, that you don't even really like yourself. I don't like myself when I'm like that. I catch myself sometimes. I caught myself like that Monday at Higan Machado's jiu-jitsu school with some guy. Sometimes I just don't like something, and I will fucking tell you, and I will stay there like a fucking idiot and hunt you down. It's a part of me that stayed with me since I was a kid. I just don't like certain people. I don't like how they walk into a room. I don't like how they speak sometimes. I don't like how they treat other people or address other people.
But there are people who get off on that.
But there are people who get off on that.
Who like to sit around and poke bears and then get upset when
somebody
attacks.
says something to them. So when it happened 20 years ago with my ex-wife, it took me somewhere. Not to mention, I was an open micer as a comic. So that tenacity was helping my comedy career, because anger is real on stage. But it wasn't helping me inside. It was wearing me down, and it was making me give up. And I didn't want to give up. What I mean by giving up is that in those days, at any situation, if something bad would have happened, it could be a flat tire. Could have been a flat tire. You guys see the movie, what was the movie with Michael Douglas when he fucking snaps on the 405 when the one...
yeah.
What was the name of it?
Falling Down?
Falling Down. You ever see that? You're too young for that movie. One day, a guy's he's going through a divorce in that movie, separation, the kid, his job,
and it's the straw that broke the
straw that broke the camel's back. He was at the fucking, on the 10 or on the 405, you know how it is, beep, beep, and one day he just snapped. And as he's walking away from the car, they go to mug him downtown.
Oh, no.
Isn't that the thing? And he pulls a gun out and he shoots the guy, and they run away, and he goes, hey, you forgot your briefcase. It's a great fucking scene.
How much of all crimes is that, do you think? Like, just someone snapped and they happen to get caught on the day they snapped.
Man, it's...
I would say a lot of crime is not that, but some of it certainly is. And
why does somebody go home and kill their fucking kids?
Yeah.
Why does somebody go home and stab both their kids and the mother and put them in the... It happens every day in the newspaper.
Like, you had talked about wanting to kill your ex-wife and your husband.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
And like...
Absolutely.
You were... Let's just say on paper you were a bad person back then. Or did bad things back then.
I wasn't a bad person. I was a young, confused person. I had made some mistakes. I was trying to get my life back together. But that fucking animal was still in there.
It's dangerous.
It was dangerous. And they were playing a game with me. And I'm getting harder and harder. And now I'm thinking to myself, I'm a loser in life. I'm not making any progress with comedy. I'm not making any progress here. You know what? I'm not going to let these motherfuckers fuck with me. And then something very weird happened. OJ killed his wife.
Really?
OJ killed his wife. I think June 12th of 94. Check the date. Or June 12th of 95. It was June 12th of 94 when he killed his wife. And that put me over. Okay? That.
12th of 94.
Who the fuck you think you're dealing with here? That put me over. Because now I had somebody to relate to. She wasn't messing around with a man. She took my kid into another man's house without my permission or without my knowledge. and her parents kept lying to me. So I was a power keg. So I have nothing going on. My comedy career is nowhere. I'm angry, I'm broke, and guess on top of this, what's going on? I'm pouring cocaine into this mind like never before. I had a dealer. I didn't need money. I would just call him up and he'd give me a half an 8-ball just on the arm. I still owe him $1,600 today. If I find him, I will send him his fucking money. In fact, I called Mike Kessler at 1 in the morning last week and asked him, where's Vince? I will send him his fucking money because he was that good to me at that time.
So,
yes,
so
he
what
was
did OJ
really good to him, giving him free cocaine.
So what did OJ do? Did OJ make you not want to do it?
No, OJ made me. OJ let me know that I could do it. Now I had somebody in the
on
media.
My side.
Now I had somebody that was on my side. This is what happens to people. People see this. They're called copycat crimes. This isn't stupid. This is what happens to somebody in society when they get beat up on a daily basis for 2 years and when they want to be a good person. There's people who don't really give a fuck, who never had a chance, and they'll take whatever's piled on top of them. But when somebody wants to be a good person and can't figure out what's going on, I don't know what was going on now. I wasn't giving my life 100% as a human being. I was tiptoeing through what I had to do, and I was angry at myself, and I was angry at society. But in my heart, I really, really wanted to be a dad, and I would have changed to do this. If she would have gave me the opportunity, things would have been different today. I probably wouldn't have been here. I probably would have been a stand-up that would have stayed in Colorado and done...
Been a car salesman.
Or a car salesman and done events.
So if she let you see Jackie on a regular basis...
If things would have... If let's say I had 2 sleepovers a month, and I had no drama with her, and I found the job... I had a job in Boulder that paid me great money. But if I could put all those things together, I would have probably still been in Boulder. I wouldn't have left because it was my comfort zone, Lee. It was my comfort zone. I had been there for a couple of years. I'd gotten arrested. Now, I knew people in town. And it wasn't that I was a bad person at the time. I was always trying to do something good with my life. It just, I was $10,000 behind.
But so, like, let's say Jackie called and was like, well, you were in prison, you abandoned me and my mom, or you left me and my mom. I hate, what would you say if she's angry?
Yeah, hey, nothing.
That's what she's going to say.
She can't throw that prison card because he was in prison before she happened.
Yeah, before I married her. And I didn't leave them. I never left them. They had a place to live. They had a great place to live. The husband had a fucking Porsche.
Okay.
Nobody abandoned
This was a
nobody
mutual,
abandons
this
nobody.
is a mutual split.
She tried to hide and push me the fuck away.
But if she said something along those lines, what would you say?
There's nothing I could say. See, I don't want to start. You don't close on your fucking feet. You close on your ass. I just told you what I'm going to tell her. That there's a time and a place for everything. So when she calls, it's just an initial call. I'm here. I'm sorry about what happened. I don't know what you know. It doesn't really fucking matter. Doesn't really matter. Even if she hangs up that fucking phone, 8 years from now, she's going to call and go, I want to know what really happened.
You don't
everybody
want her to call
does.
and feel like she is being
I'm not going to jump on her
spot.
right away. I don't want to put nobody on the spot. That's why I did what I did. She was getting put on the spot as a fucking 5-year-old. And it started when she was 2. Yesterday I was looking at Mercy after she called. Mercy's 25 months old right now. At 25 months old, you have no idea what Jackie was going through. She wasn't even seeing me. There was a time with 3 months where I lived in a different town. She wasn't seeing me. She wasn't answering the phone. And you know me, I'm not a rat. I wouldn't call the fucking cops. I knew she would come out. But at that time, that last phone call I made to them, I made it clear that I would fucking stab them both if they didn't bring the kid to the house by 1 o'clock. In fact, the father brought the kid to the house. Because I called the father. And I said, this is not going to end good. I love you. You're a great guy. I'm just telling you right now that this is not going to end good. And I'll tell you what,
by
they
father,
knew.
He means
her father.
Her grandfather.
The last time I seen her father, that we were exchanging the kid, her father was crying the whole time. He shook my hand the hardest any man has ever shook my hand. He was crying the whole time. They lost a family. I was more into them in a way than I was into her. I was more into them. That had been the first time I was around decent fucking people since my mother died.
Right.
So I was into them more than I was into her. He was a lieutenant colonel, and he wrote a recommendation to the Department of Jails for me. And I still remember the last paragraph. And he wrote that Joe Diaz has never had a great job, but he's had menial jobs, and he's always been very proud of those menial jobs. He's always taken those menial jobs to the next level. And he said I was a very hard worker. and then he felt I would never get in trouble again, and I just needed to get into a right direction, you know. I still remember how he put it. I was proud of having a job. Like, I was always very proud of fucking working. I never wanted you to give me... I was never looking for a handout. The problem was when I got a job, it was $11 an hour. That's $440 a week. That's $300 after taxes. In those days, I wiped my ass with $300. So I could make $300 by selling a fucking quarter ounce of blow. So it was tough to maintain that job, you know. But to get back to the subject, I was tight with him. You know, he knew where I was coming from. You know, he said that he had worked with men. He was a lieutenant fucking colonel. The fucking Air Force, man. He had worked with young men all his life. And he told me once, he goes, "You're one of the sharpest motherfuckers that I know as a young guy. It's just going to take a while. But when it focuses in for you, you're going to be a fucking killer." That's why I like that dude. Because he knew me better than I knew myself at 27. You know?
Is that maybe why you waited longer? Because, like, let's say you tried to call this 10 years ago.
The day that they fucking sent 2 guys to beat me up in my house.
Yeah.
The next morning when I walked outside and I had the bandage over my rib and my rib was black. You know, like when you have a bruise and some people have like black and blue, and my rib, this area was black. They hit me with a 2x4. And they hit my dog with a 2x4. And I'm going to tell you people at the house, and you two fuckos that I love dearly.
Fuckos.
If it wasn't for her father that day, I would have killed them both in my parking in front of Jackie. And I'm telling you this is the asshole side of Joe Diaz. That day when I walked down the stairs, I would have killed him right there in the parking lot in front of my little baby girl. That's how much anger I had for these 2 people. Because now they had crossed the line. They didn't even have the balls to twist the knife themselves. They sent 2 motherfucking white dudes to come get me. And the one guy worked me over. If I hadn't seen that 2x4 on the floor, I whacked him. But the one guy I did get my hands on, he's somewhere right now thinking about me. Because I know he's got scars on his face. I know his ear is fucked up. I know I stepped on his nose and his face a couple times. I went after that motherfucker. And I called an off-duty cop to come to my fucking house to check this motherfucker out on the floor. And we picked him up and we dropped him off in front of emergency. And I never heard anything again. And the law limitations out, the statute of limitations, I really don't give a fuck.
Well, you talked about it on a testicle test.
This is why I'm a fucking animal. When I want to be an animal, I'll be a fucking animal. It's who I was raised to be.
Right.
Listen, when I die, someday I'm going to fucking die. And my mother's probably in purgatory because she killed somebody and they sent her to hell for 20 years. And she worked herself up for purgatory. And I'm going to tell you something.
Happy birthday discussion.
Yeah, and the first time I see my mother in purgatory, she's going to hug me.
People are like, "Why are you married?"
And she's going to go, "You did good, but you didn't kill your stepfather, who you should have put a bullet in his head. You didn't kill that cunt of an ex-wife of yours. You didn't kill the cunt of a fucking boyfriend. And you didn't kill 2 or 3 other people. You should have just fucking ended their time for what they did to you." I know my mother. I know my mother's fucking mentality. And this is why the Kathy King situation
This should be the Mother's Day.
bothers the fuck out of
Your
me.
ex-wife.
This is why the whole thing bothers the fuck out of me. Because in my mind, in my demented fucking mind, I think they did something to me. They got a smack owed. Remember, I come from a different house. I come from a house that you don't come home smacked. In my world right now, I'm still a little smacked. I'm happy they had a call yesterday and bowed down a little bit. But in my world, I still got you ever get smacked out in the face in the wintertime?
Yeah.
And you get 5 fingers left on your face?
Yeah.
I still got that from them.
You think so? Even with being in like...
I know Joe Diaz. I know what's inside Joe Diaz's heart and his mind.
You don't think the longest yard in My Name is Earl...
That does nothing.
Bigger smacks?
No. What are you talking about?
You don't think so? Maybe not bigger, but...
What are you talking about? I'm talking about somebody smacked me in the face and walked away, and I stayed with that fax in my face. What's a movie going to do for you? Or a TV show?
Because they wanted you dead. They wanted you doing drugs.
No. Trust me, I'm telling you.
Okay.
They deserve to fucking... They both deserve to end up on their knees.
Lee, have you ever been done...
Nowhere near that. No, of course not.
Any
I've been done bad, but the reason
there are some people out there. There's some people out there, Lee, that do such bad things to you, or to someone that you love, that there will never be anything, no matter how well you do in life, or how lucky you get, or there will never be anything that will be able to erase that feeling of
what this motherfucker did to you.
Of what they did to you. It will always live in your soul. there will never be anything to take it away. It may diminish.
Right. Well, the reason I asked it because you've talked about before is every time you did a movie or TV show, you thought about that a little bit.
That's nothing. That's nothing. That's what I'm talking about when somebody stabs you in the nose. Somebody fucking does something
that's
to you.
That's thumbing your nose at them.
That's thumbing your nose at them. That's nothing.
That's not
Stuff.
retribution.
That's for white people.
That's not the
I'm
retribution.
talking about lighting your fucking house on fire.
That your heart feels that it
deserves.
I
know what you're saying, and I'm sorry to... I know what you're saying. That killed them. That buried them. They sat there on that couch shaking their fucking head.
But you want to drop a bomb on them.
Yeah. I mean, I want...
It's never going to
make
that go away.
Listen, man, when I first moved to North Bergen, I went to the other side of the courts one day, and there was an older kid there. I don't want to give his name out because one day I'm going to go to North Bergen and beat the fuck out of him too. And I was maybe 12, and he was maybe 20.
There's
and
a
he
list.
And he was maybe 20, and he smacked me one day. We were playing basketball, and he smacked me, and I threw the ball at him in the winter, and I hit him in the face, and they broke us up. And even though he had Voight on his face, you know what Voight is? Voight is the one basketball company. Till this day, his son hit me on Twitter one day. Like, he's forgot about it. Like, he's told his son, I'm friends with him, you know. Not in my fucking world. You smacked me. I threw the ball at you. You were 20. I was 12. What was the reason for the fucking smack? And then he joined the service, so I never really seen him as I was old. I never forgot about that motherfucker.
So is there...
Now, that's not saying that you were going to go get retribution. It's just saying that the desire for retribution is always...
You ever seen Good Will Hunting?
Yeah, of course.
They're driving down a fucking street, okay, in the beginning of the fucking movie. Okay, they're driving down a fucking street. Stop. They're driving down a fucking... Stop banging. They're driving down a fucking street.
Right.
Okay? And what does the kid say to the other one? You see Nicky Belushi? He used to beat me up in the first grade. Isn't that what Matt Damon told that motherfucker in that first scene when they fought in the park?
Right.
When they got isn't that... Am I fucking retarded here? That's what I'm
talking
about. When you're a street motherfucker, forget about the good that's going on in your life. When you wake up in the morning, the first thing in your fucking heart should be what those people did to you. That's what puts the flavor in your day to go out and make somebody else pay for what life or whatever the fuck is done to you.
So is there anything you can do to get revenge without ending up in jail? Or no, not really?
The revenge I get is like my uncle. He's got cancer today. A slow fucking cancer. Because usually you don't do it to nobody. Life does it itself. Okay, you don't ever want to go home and wish something on somebody. Either you're going to stab the motherfucker or wipe your hands of it.
Okay, so there's nothing you personally can do to get it back.
No.
Okay.
You know, there's nothing I could do to get it back. I lost my daughter. I knew that when I got in the car in 95 and I drove away. But that flavor's still in my mouth. Yeah, they giggled when I left. They're not giggling right now. They're at home at a table right now looking at each other going, so when is she going to call? How are we going to tape this? Should we contact the police? They know this is serious.
Fuck.
They know something else, that I'm charismatic. I could win that girl over, but I really don't want to. I don't need to win her over. I'm going to call. I'm going to tell her what's on my mind and what's in my heart, and that I love her, and let her know what's here available to her. And that's it. And I'm going to plant the seed, and someday whether she wants to talk to me, she could talk to me, or she doesn't have to talk to me. But guess what? I came to peace with everybody who listens to the church, but most importantly myself. Because I picked up that phone and I fucking made the call.
How did you know when you saw someone was calling? Did you know it was her?
No, because people call me from Colorado all the fucking time.
How nervous were you? Like when she said hi, Joe, or whatever?
I didn't know who it was. She even said to me, Joe, and I go, yeah. She goes, you know who this is? And I go, no. She goes, this is your ex-wife.
Well, what did you think?
She goes, what are you doing? I go, I'm looking for a plane ticket on Southwest. I go, I can't believe that $59 to Sacramento.
Did your heart drop at all or no?
No, there was just another fucking day in business. I was ecstatic that she called. She had a call. I knew that my hunch was right. I knew that they got the call on the 3rd and sat there and said, he's only going to call once and go away. Listen, I didn't get to this point in my comedy career as a human being because I was planning on going away. You know, I'm not the type of guy to go away. I might disappear for a while and let you think I went away like Clint Eastwood and fucking Hang 'em High. But I ain't going away.
Right.
And my anger and I know what you're saying is right, that part of me, the little success that I've gotten over the years, they had to fucking swallow and sit at the table when somebody had to say, hey, isn't that your ex-husband? And in front of her family, she had to go, yeah.
Oh, wait, no, I wasn't saying at all that it's equal. And if I did, I blame the edibles.
No.
But no, it's...
I blame the edibles. You do that a lot, Lee?
Sometimes, usually on this show. But have you guys thought about or even considered, like, what are you going to say if Mercy ever asks about it? Are you even going to tell her?
Mercy's not going to say nothing. I'm going to tell her. Mercy's not going to ask me. I'm going to tell her when the time is right. Or my wife will tell her if I punch the ticket.
Oh, God.
It's out there. There's no point in trying to act like it didn't happen.
Parents always do that, though.
Yeah, well, it's out on social media.
I guess that's true. If I had social media with my dad...
The cat's out of the bag, folks.
I actually got an email from this podcast the other night where I said my dad was on the radio. This woman from Boston emailed me and said that she remembered my dad on the radio.
I want to give his dad a shout-out today. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday to Dick Syatt if he's listening. I know he's not listening, but he's down there in Fort Lauderdale hoping he had a fucking edible for his birthday. Happy birthday. I told him happy birthday on Facebook. He's a good fucking dude. You know... I mean, listen, don't get me wrong. I love the kid. What's that, baby?
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
You've lost my train of thought. Thank you very much.
I love the kid, but somewhere along the line, that was part of my release also. I knew that I wasn't going to raise her with the Diaz or the Valdez mentality. I knew that was not going to be allowed. You know, I knew that they had a plan on how they were going to raise her. I knew that they wanted her to play golf. I knew that they weren't going to raise her Catholic. I knew a lot of things that I would have been battling it out for. I never really walked away from her. I just went away to get stronger. And I never, in my heart, I never knew it would blow up to this. I never knew I was going to come out here and get the longest shirt. I never knew I was going to do Spider-Man 2. Those are just things to show that, in a way, I did something with my life. But I didn't do the most important thing, which was be her father. That's the most important thing I could have done, okay? I got a second chance, and I'm going to be the best fucking father I can, you know? But with that situation, all I could do was apologize, let her digest it, and let her decipher. People decipher things on their own. I go back and forth about my fucking dad. You know, my dad died when I was 3. For years, I didn't think of the poor bastard until my uncle brought him up and said he's a great fucking guy, and then I understood, and I remember the stories my mom told me, and now I light a candle for my dad, and I love him, and I think about him. I know he watches over me. But I thought the same way. He left me here.
You know, I gotta tell you, Lee, there's a part of me that wishes that door would just stay closed. That door in Joey's life would just stay closed. Because I'm his new life. And I'm the mother of his new daughter. And the one that's going on now. And he's here for that. And there's a part of me that doesn't want to share that. And that's protective of Mercy, that she shouldn't have to have a divided dad like that. But then that's her sister. And that's her family. And that's not fair either to either one of them. I don't know Jackie. But this scares the shit out of me.
What scares the shit out of me in some points, because it's a door I opened. Now I have to close it or deal with it. You follow me? I'm not scared of this situation because...
Yeah, but you know it. I don't know it.
No, there's nothing to be fucking scared of or anything. I mean, there's nothing to be scared of. I mean, I did something. I cleaned up a loose end, Terry Clark. I had a couple loose ends that I had to take care of. This is one of them. This is one of those loose ends. I had to go pick up my stuff in Miami. This is it, you know. This is what it is to be a man. I finally became a man at 50-2. I should be ashamed of myself. But I did it. There's an ending to this. Someday I did become a man. Some people become a man at 18. Some people become a man at fucking 25. Some at 35. I really became a man at 44. The day I picked up my balls and stopped doing blow and gave my wife the best attention I could ever give her and give her my love undivided, you know. That's when I became a man. But what I've done the last 7 years for myself, you know, like just to put away those skeletons I had in the closet, which people never want to deal with. And I get it. I got it until the church straightened me out. Until the same people I sit here and tell stupid fucking jokes to and stupid stories, straighten me out. And this is why I made this call, because the only way this podcast is going to work and the only way we're going to have a fucking relationship is if, you know, I walk the walk. I got to be able to fucking walk the walk. If I talk about jiu-jitsu, it's because I got to go get beat up. For them to, you know, if I talk about being a man and picking your fucking balls up every day, if I talk about being a better American, I got to show these motherfuckers that's right. I smoke weed, but when I get up in the morning You know, I pick up papers. I fucking do whatever I have to do. I'm a fucking American. I feel in my fucking heart. Doesn't matter if I'm a spick or a fucking half a yam or whatever the fuck I am. I'm a fucking American, motherfucker, as much as the rest of you motherfuckers. I'm what's called an American felon. I went to jail. I paid my fucking due. And now I walk around like I own the fucking joint. I don't have to vote. I don't have to go to, whatever that shit.
Jury duty.
Jury duty. But I can still carry a gun.
It has its benefits.
I'm scared too. I opened up a fucking door. But I opened up a door that was supposed to be open. And whatever happens, happens. It's not going to affect the family I have now. It's not going to affect my family in no fucking way because this is it. I got a second chance of being a dad. Something I wanted to be so badly in 1994. When I left George's in New Jersey and went back to Colorado, I went back with this hope that I could I could make everybody proud around me. I could be a dad, I could get a job, I could do some stand-up comedy, and maybe someday something good will come of this. But that wasn't the fucking case. I walked into a wall of, no, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't say that about her. They said I was broke, and on top of this, there was no money. No money at all. I used to borrow a car that the door didn't shut. I'd have to close it with a bungee from one side to the other. It belonged to the deli zone, a deli in fucking Boulder that they used to make deliveries with. So that's just to let fucking people know where I was at. So for me to do this, I want to thank everybody who emailed me, everybody who, you know, anybody who sent me a Twitter message, anybody who fucking Gmailed me that said, hey man, you did the right thing, thank you. Thank you for the support because you made a man out of fucking me. I did what I had to do, brother, you know?
That's awesome.
Fuck yeah. This is why I did it. This is it, man.
That's
We
so
gotta
cool.
fuck. This is a network. This is a real network. This ain't a mafia family where the bottom people do what the fuck. No, we all do dirty work here. We all fucking do dirty work. We all have fears and we all have fucking anxieties and we all have things we have to do. This is how it starts, man. So I want to thank the church.
I'll be right back.
Where you going?
I'm gonna get you guys some tissues.
Oh,
Oh,
thank
Jesus.
you, brother.
Your nose.
Oh no, I've been every time I come here, I forget to fucking spray my nose, and this is what happens. I gotta give you something tomorrow. So now we have another situation in our family.
Oh, God.
My niece, who I love dearly, my daughter, my wife's niece,
Yeah.
niece. It's on her side, but I love her.
It's my fault. It's my family.
She ran off with a fucking
Chemistry professor. 38 fucking years old. She's 18.
and it's really weird because I didn't go back for like maybe 5 years when I started dating Terrie, and I went back to Tennessee.
I'm done crying. Now I'm pissed.
And I fell in love with my niece. I mean, she's a great kid. She's funny. She has Uncle Joey. She has a weird accent. She has a Tennessee draw. She got big feet. You know,
Oh my
she's just a
God.
funny girl. You know, and I fell in love with her. She pitches. She has anger issues. I love her. You know.
She got issues,
But
all right.
I tell you, part of meeting her and having communication with her made me call my daughter because there's nobody in the world that needs a dad more than this girl does, and you could see it. So it put guilt on me with my daughter, but not as much. See, when I did all these things, I knew that John is not a bad guy. Let me tell him before we go forward with Terrie's business. The guy that my ex-wife married, I gotta tell you guys, he's not a bad guy. He's not a bad guy, and a lot of people, I don't want people to misconstrue that. He's not a bad guy. He's one of those people that's just going to die because he was dead. No. Sorry, my nose is clogged up. He's not a bad person. He's a good dad, and he tries. And I smacked him in 95 out of my insecurities, and I called him a few weeks later and apologized per my daughter's asking me. She said, why don't you apologize? And I did. So he's not a bad guy. This was just, they made a call, and they had to stick to it.
Did you get any hate mail from that when you said you hadn't talked to your daughter? Did anybody say, well...
Yeah. 2 or 3 people have said little things to me, but I understand. I understand where they're coming from.
Right.
It's not that I'm mad at them because, listen, this podcast, you got to have a fucking opinion. You got to have some type of opinion that this podcast isn't going to fucking work. I don't like everything you do, and you don't like everything I fucking do, and that's what makes the world go around. Making the world go around is not because we all sit around and go, oh my God, we all love fucking the Beatles. No, we don't. My wife don't fucking like the Beatles. Right. You know, we talked about this the other goddamn night.
But it's because when you think about it, because I've never had a kid, so it's never happened. But when you think about it, when people say like that a father doesn't have contact with a kid, it's usually like a negative reason. It's like looked at negatively, and you don't like that it happened, but you said that it happened because you went away to make yourself better. So that that's mostly positive.
Yeah, but when I went away to make myself better, this was the mind fuck I was telling myself. This was the mind fucking cocaine I was telling myself. It just so happened everything did get better. Yeah. You know, in the back of my mind, when I was first of all, when I left Boulder to take a Tribble run, I kept my apartment. I was coming back. I just knew that there had to be space. There had to be some type of space. There had to initiate some type of space. It was fucking with the baby. It was fucking with Jackie in the worst way. It was pressure on her. I could see it. And I'll never forget getting the call from Tribble at 1 a.m. I had a pager. And I didn't even have enough change to call.
He had a pager until we met.
And I didn't even have the change to call him back. And when I called him back, he goes, I have 4 weeks of work for you in the Pacific Northwest. And I was like, this is a God. You know, like I've always told people, I've always let my path dictate itself. Sometimes you may want something, but life doesn't give it to you. And all of a sudden you find out that plane went down. And you're like, woof. And I was pissed for 2 weeks. That plane went down, bitch. So, I took the 4 weeks for Tribble, and I ended up staying in Seattle. I ended up meeting Josh Wolf and meeting, Gavin and doing comedy, and Brody and doing comedy, and I sent money, and it was perfect for me at the time. It was perfect. I just wanted to give myself air. I needed that break. It was too much. I was about to do something bad, and then what happened? I went to Seattle and did something bad. Because the anger issues were fucking out of control, man.
It's crazy because when I was a kid, when you look at your parents, like you think they're like adults before they make that decision, and like they're perfect. But looking at it now, I have so many kids, so many friends with kids, and people who are a lot younger than me have kids, and it's just they're not. It's like people expect you to be perfect and just stay with the mom forever or just stay there forever. But you were only what, 27, 28? You said
there's no perfect. It's impossible to be perfect as a parent, and no matter what you do, you're going to fuck up.
It's impossible to be perfect as a relationship.
Right. Yeah.
We've been together 15 years. I yell at her every day. She yells at me every fucking day. But at the end of the day, she knows I love her with all my heart. She knows I have 30 fucking things on my mind, and she knows I would jump out of a fucking window for her. And going in, she knows that. We've already gone through this.
I wish there were cameras in your house all day.
Oh, please. I quit coke because of her. I wasn't ever going to get married again. And I broke down and married her because I knew I had one of the best and she had my back. And if you're fucking crazy, you don't think part of your success comes with who you marry and the people around you. Again, these are the people around you. These are the people that make you want to go out there and make a living. I've never wanted Terrie to pick me up on the floor. Can you imagine this poor girl with blue eyes waking up one morning, pissing, and going into the kitchen and seeing me on the floor with my arm purple and bread stuff coming out of my nose? She'd never be the same again.
Bad things are going to happen. You don't invite them in.
No. I didn't want that. You know what? If I don't even want Lee to find me on the floor. There's few people who could find people on the floor dead and live their life normally after that. It's 10 years out of your life that you can't handle. How the fuck do I know? Because I found my fucking mother on the floor. And nobody in this life, nobody deserves to find a loved one on the fucking floor. Okay, natural causes, that's a beautiful thing, man. God took you. You ate one too many cheeseburgers at 2 in the fucking morning. But for you to find a loved one who suffered a death, who had a cardiac arrest because they were doing cocaine in their bathroom. When me and Terrie first met, I got on board with some Howard Stern guys. Do you remember that? One of them being Casey, the kid who used to cut himself who got fired from Stern. And Casey called me one night and he goes, I want you to go to Long Island and book this gig. You're going to go on Howard Stern on Friday. We're going to promote the gig and we're all going to make a bunch of money. I forget who else was on the show. It was Norton's buddy, Jimmy, the one who the heavy metal station.
Oh.
Jim Florentine and me and these 2 kids. And the one kid that was the promoter was a cop. Fucking nicest kid in the world. Just a beautiful fucking daughter. beautiful baby, 2 girls, red hair, ponytails. They dropped me off at the hotel. Do you remember that? Well, we went back to their house. And we switched cars. The one guy drove me to the hotel. Do you know the next morning I woke up to the guy who we switched cars died that night before I got on the plane in Long Island. Remember they sent me a check a month later for no money. It was like $200. There was like 19 people at the show.
There's so many stories I cannot.
Oh my God!
So if you had gotten in the other car, you would have died.
No. He died. He went inside. It's like me going to you. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to go in my house. Go start the pizza. I'm going to go in my bathroom. The kid went in his bathroom, did a line of coke, and had a heart attack in his bathroom and died. So you're there waiting for me that night to celebrate. I was in my hotel room. I had to get up at 6 to take a flight out of fucking Long Island. But that's how quick it is. These 2 kids that had known each other since kindergarten. He went over back to the house, went in the house. The wife was sleeping, the girls were sleeping, opened the bathroom, found his friend on the floor, overdosed from fucking cocaine, a cardiac arrest. Till this day, the kid doesn't talk about it. It was his best friend. So, this is the reason why. At the 10-year mark, at the 9-year mark, I proposed to her.
You have no idea. There were years in there that I thought I'd find Joey dead on the living room floor. He would be dead beside me in bed.
So why did you stay?
Where was I going to go, Lee?
We watched the story of a 60-year-old guy. Her and I one night watched this thing on Discovery, dead stories of dead people, about a guy who was reading a book outside. His wife went to bed first. He read a book, and he fucking went into bed, and he had a heart attack in his sleep, and they couldn't figure out why. He had done a line of coke and laid down. You have no idea how fucking lucky I am. But that was 90% of my reasoning for stopping was I didn't want her to find me. Anybody else but her. If I died in Houston, that's fine. I didn't want anybody else to fucking find me. I didn't care about anybody else finding me but this poor woman.
And, a lot of people say, why did you stay? A lot. And I was no prize, Lee. You see me now, and the me you know now is not the me that was with Joe Diaz in the early days. I would drink an entire bottle of Jack Daniels by myself and smoke maybe 2 packs of cigarettes while I was drinking that bottle of Jack. And I had no compunction with it. And I would do it every night.
Then we met, so we saved each other.
And that continued even with Joey. You think that the Comedy Store was just my cocktail waitressing job? I worked where I could get free booze. Always. Up until I was 35. Till I started work at the LA Phil. The LA Phil saved me on that one. I got a job that I cared something about, that I cared enough about me to pull myself up out of the gutter for. But I was in the gutter right there with him. I was just on a different drug.
Yeah. Did you ever think, because not wanting her to find you could have happened at any point when you were doing it. So, what changed at that point, do you think?
Changed what?
What made... Because anytime you did a line, you could have had her find you. What made that matter when you decided to quit?
Well, you have to eventually stop doing a line so your head clears up a bit. Because if you're just going to sit there, what a dumbass.
The star of death.
That's why you should watch live.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Gets him a little itchy talking about coke. You gotta stick a star in his mouth.
Just,
what a dumbass.
I wanted to bring my wife in here today just to let you guys know what was going on. It's my 52nd birthday tomorrow. And I'm just really happy to be doing this fucking podcast with you guys today. That's it. This is all it today. And I really wanted to talk to my daughter because I wanted to talk about Jacqueline because you guys fucking initiated it. So there you have it.
What do you... let's say you talk. Are you going to use her old name or new name?
What do you mean?
What?
Well, they changed her name, you said.
I don't know.
Her name. I thought you
is.
said his name.
No.
I was like, what?
Lee, I don't know what her fucking new name is. And I don't know what's gonna happen.
We're gonna call her Ray Ray.
I'm just gonna do what I have to do and put the ball on her court, and I did what I had to do. Now we got to deal with my fucking missing niece now.
Oh, Jesus.
And you know, like I said, one of the reasons why I stayed with my wife is like in the very beginning one night, in one of her drunk stupors, she said she could really see that I didn't have a mother growing up. I could see where. And that's the first time a woman had gotten under my skin about my mother. Like, I wouldn't let somebody talk about my mother. Her saying that to me, I just looked at her. I didn't even know what to say, and I went to bed and didn't say nothing for a few days. But that made me love her more because it was the first person that was that honest with me. That made me fall in love with her faster. I like when people are honest with me. I don't want, I don't like any other thing. I like that honesty. But there's a way for people to say it. On that particular day, she said it just right, that it didn't blow me out of the water. But
do you remember saying that? And
I didn't understand at first. But after I met her niece, when I saw how much she needed a man in her life, because what happened was her sister met a guy, they ran off, whatever, were in love. She got pregnant, they broke up, the guy went to jail. My sister, my aunt, my sister-in-law moved back home. She had the kid, and she's raised the child at the home with the grandparents. And I think the world of her. I mean, I think she's beautiful. I think she's smart. She's funny. This comes as a shock to me.
She's making her bed. These are mistakes that 18-year-olds make. Some 18-year-olds decide to drive drunk. Some of them decide to date inappropriate men. Some decide to date lots of them. Some, it's a dumb mistake. It will not define her for the rest of her life.
No, it's something she did now. But we're trying to figure out what happens now. Fuck the rest of her life.
What happens?
I'm trying to figure out how to fucking fix this now.
Well, that was the problem. Calm the fuck
I heard
down.
when you were talking to your sister before, and you're like, "Is this gonna? Who gives a fuck about now? Now we got to figure out how to get her home and how to patch this fucking problem."
Well, she ain't even actually left home for real.
No,
like
she
I
didn't
said,
pack her bags.
She didn't pack her bags. I bought her a brand new pair of Jordans for Christmas. They're still sitting at her mama's house.
She left the cat out. All she did was let the fucking cat out of the bag.
Yeah.
So we got to figure out.
She's
how
making
to,
rookie
how
mistakes
to do this.
about rookie mistakes.
If the Jordans are there, she's not
me,
gone.
I feel like sending her a plane ticket and bringing her out here.
Yeah.
I got one problem with that.
What?
I got one big problem with that. That one, I have a 2-year-old in my house.
Her name's Mercy.
And I don't want no fucking problems. And number two, I don't have the tolerance. I will throw the fuck out. I will throw her the fuck out.
Yeah, she's
the same way my uncle threw me out at 21 years old.
She needs to get her head wrapped around herself. And so she just, let her fall on her face. That's the best thing you can do for her right now is to just let her fuck up.
But she's not falling on the face.
She answering the phone?
You know what she's doing, brother?
They took her phone from her.
She's filling that void right now.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what she's doing right now.
She's looking for something to fill
that
void.
And she's been looking for somebody to fill the void. She likes older men, whatever. She needs that. She needs that hole to be that. There's a hole in her fucking plug, and in the wall. You got to put one of those plugs in the dam. That's all it is. So until she finds that, I wish her luck. I love her regardless.
She just doesn't have any confidence that she's a big enough plug for her own hole. You know what I mean? Is she thinks that someone else is going to have to fill that void for her. She's going to have to wake up eventually and realize there's nobody going to fill that. You're going to have to fill it yourself.
See, the voids I had filled, I always needed a mom, and I always needed a dad. But I got so much love from the friends around me and so much belief from the 6 friends that I did have, that filled that void for me, and that let me go on. That let me progress in my life,
Yeah.
Look at the shape of you, Lee. How fucking high are you already?
I'm pretty high.
You're not going to make it to the show at the Ice House tonight, are you?
Oh, shit, that's tonight. I do want to go. That's a good show.
That's a 10 o'clock fucking show tonight, brother.
I'll
That's
go.
why I said to you, eat the chocolate, because I wanted you to last tonight.
Well, the chocolate was too big.
No, because the chocolate was 10 milligrams.
I'll go tonight. That's a good show.
Fuck yeah, that's a good show.
What time is the show?
10 o'clock show.
Okay,
Bill Burr, Tom Segura.
I want to watch the whole show.
Ari Shafir.
Look, Lee's rubbing his belly.
We're bringing
it's a good show.
Oh yeah, we're bringing the whole fucking bag of fucking.
Thinking about dinner later.
We're bringing the whole bag of Anarchy edibles up there to let the party out for Ari and shit like that.
Christ, what have I walked into?
He's dosed you before. You know what I'm going through.
He's dosed me. Yeah, you know what? I have the good sense to know that he's about to dose me, and I just say no. When are you going to wake up and realize that that's what's happening?
No, but he's talking about dose you.
don't.
Dose you means when I fucking
I know.
give it to you without you knowing.
I know that.
No, you don't know that. Shit. You
Yes, I do.
I gave you the banana bread, but you knew, and I gave you the other thing at the wedding, which you knew about too.
The
shit.
brownie.
Which brownie? Oh, tell him about the first time that before the medical marijuana license, I came home one night. You and I were having a conversation. Andrea was over the house.
Yeah, and
it was a Sunday night. No, you didn't make dick. It was a Sunday fucking
You
night.
made the brownies, and I made the French fries.
Listen to me, dog. I didn't know what I was doing, Pete. This is why when you fucking momos on the road come up to me and go, we don't have no edibles about here. Yes, you fucking do. You have a thing called Mexican brown. That shit makes tremendous fucking edibles. You got to get it, cut it with a scissor. Cut it as fine as you can. And get a little frying pan, put a little bit of olive oil in there, a little bit of butter so the butter don't burn. And on a low flame, you just leave the fucking shake in there. And eventually it'll bubble up, and that green, the THC comes out of it. So I would mix the brownie, and I would keep pouring it in. My wife's like, I don't know. And we kept making it. It was a Sunday night. I'll never forget
How
this.
am I supposed to know? I don't
We
make
didn't know.
stupid
And I'm
brownies.
licking the spoon. And listen, before that brownie came out of the fucking oven, I was already fucked up from licking the spoon.
Up. This was at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, my God.
We were still fucked up at 6:30 the next night.
Before
That happens
comedy
all
work.
the time with this stuff.
Before comedy work.
had to go to work. Andrea and I had to work the original room at the comedy
The
store.
girl that slept over and stayed there all day because she couldn't
and wore
leave.
the same clothes to work.
That's how strong the brownies were.
She
first
kept
time
getting
I made
up
brownies.
and sitting back down.
This is
Getting up,
2005,
and sitting back
right?
down. Yeah.
More,
no,
2003.
No. It was 2003
3 before Longest Yard.
2001.
That's how long I made these brownies.
How many milligrams do you think they were?
Oh my God, I don't know.
Oh,
it's terrible.
Doesn't matter.
You've seen the original room on how packed it gets. We're the only two waitresses
On a Monday
to that
night.
room.
On a Monday night. and
Sunday
upstairs.
night. That was
I
a
couldn't
Sunday
imagine.
night.
No,
It was
we
an
got
open
high
night.
on a Sunday, and we stayed in on Monday all day. And you
Was
guys
it a
had
holiday?
Something, yes.
Because it was
yes, it was
packed.
a packed day. We went
It
back to
was
the house.
packed
We made
Monday
the fucking
night.
brownies after work, Lee, at 2 in the fucking morning.
It
my
was
friend.
awful.
All right,
Oh my
that's the
God.
first experiment I ever had. My friends in Houston were telling me how to make them.
Well, you should feel bad now for giving it to the waiters at some of the comedy clubs.
We were
Fuck
watching
'em.
we were watching Law and Order, and I was like, this is either the best Law and Order I have ever, and it was in my head like the whole time. The dialogue's in my head, going, is this the best Law and Order ever? Am I the only one watching this show? Oh my God.
That's the first time I made brownies.
It's the worst
I
feeling.
fucked myself and my wife and her girlfriend up to fucking 12. Yeah, because at 10 o'clock the next night on Monday night I was still high. Like it was. I could still feel the hum in my fucking ears. That hum that Michael Corleone had before he shot Salazzo at the Italian restaurant.
Right.
That's the same hum I had in my ears, like a whistle, like ooh, like that type of shit. I love it.
It was like a slow, like, sleep deprivation hum all over my body, like.
Oh, it was tremendous.
I'm experiencing that right now.
What are you gonna eat today? You gonna go to Skinny Kitchen and get that disgusting buffalo burger?
Oh God.
No. The bison burger's pretty
Oh,
good.
Jesus Christ!
But no, I'm not gonna get that one. I'm this high.
What are you getting for dinner today?
I don't know. I bought a whole bunch of groceries. No, I can't get pizza. I wish. No, I got a whole bunch of groceries because I'm trying to cook at home more. I'm just trying to do so. I got a whole bunch of stuff yesterday, so I'm trying not to go out.
You went
for
to
the
the gym
week.
today?
Yeah.
You looking?
Wait, no, not today.
How come you didn't go to the gym?
Because my iPad didn't have charge, so I was gonna go later. But now I think today might be my day off.
Why don't you go nice and stoned? You should be going nice and fucking lit and stuff like this.
How funny is he when he goes to the yoga high? Does he get all goofy?
How funny is it that he's shaking this entire room with his
With my
legs
leg.
right now?
Oh, I do that
Oh,
everywhere.
my God.
I can shake a plane
He's
with my
been
fucking
shaking.
leg.
The whole car shakes.
I can't
You
feel
don't
it.
understand. The whole car. You're just sitting there like this at a red light, and the whole car is shaking. You're like, what the fuck? Knock it off with the damn foot. Now go to sleep with that at night when he's sitting there and his feet are like this, up and down, up and down. He's got the roughest, scratchiest, gnarliest feet you have ever seen in your entire life. They're like, this is what's going on the bottom of Joe Diaz's feet. He's like, honey, get the nail clippers.
When I go in at night, sometimes a nail catches a calf, like a little hoof, like a cat and shit.
It's disgusting.
You cut her every night?
Fuck yeah.
You know what I got him for Christmas? You want to know?
Socks?
No. Laser treatment for the nail fungus on his feet.
And I got it.
That's what he went. That's his
That's
Christmas
what I
present.
wanted.
That's what he
I
asked
told
for.
her. She goes, what do you want? I go, get me a deal from the laser to fucking blowtorch my fucking toe. The fungi that lives in there.
That's where we're at.
I looked at it last
love,
night. The
folks.
fungi is going away. The fungi is going away on
This
both
is love.
big toes.
Lee, unless you have somebody who's willing to deal with the fungus on your toenails,
Thankfully, I don't have any yet.
you don't
Oh,
have
you
love
will.
in your life.
You will.
I will? What does
You'll-
it look like? What happens?
It's black, and
Oh,
it looks
gosh.
like a tree bark is growing, like up. That's pushing your nail up.
That's gonna happen?
Like
Yeah.
you know how you've seen trees that have like the mushrooms growing at the bottom,
Right.
All right, well, imagine those mushrooms growing up under your nails and pushing your nail up. It's
I'm not
like
looking
coral.
forward to that.
Looks like coral. That's what it looks like.
Oh, well, I should get the Groupon now.
I should get the Groupon now. Oh, it's so rough.
Did you hear what Ari's doing today?
What?
He's going to the Grove to see American Sniper, but he said on his podcast they're all gonna go and like just boo the movie. Just like when it gets bad, they're gonna groan.
When it gets bad, he'll be booing from the beginning.
That's what he said. He said it's terrible. So they're gonna go and like be a joke screening. Or they're gonna laugh at all the bad.
I wish there's a
lines.
fucking sniper in there. He shoots all those dumb motherfuckers for acting like fucking jackass in a movie theater. Because that's what happens sometimes. You get some guy that's having a fucking bad day. He pulls out one of those fucking the cousin to the guy that showed up in Colorado, Batman's cousin. I hope he's in that fucking movie theater
I
right
think you
now.
mean the Joker.
The Joker's cousin, whatever his fucking name is. So what's the next move with your fucking niece now? What are your parents trying to do? What is your sister
My
trying to
dad
do?
called the guy's house, and his wife knew nothing about it,
What?
So the guy's still married.
evidently.
Okay, so we have a fucking problem.
And yeah, it's worse for him. Like she'll get over it.
Well, it's
she'll
worse
go back
al-
to school.
It's worse
He's a
already
professor.
because one of the professors at school kind of already thought something was off and was already going to go to the dean.
Of course, it's off. You always get weird around people you're
And
dating.
so
or something.
they were already going to go to the dean before this even happened, and now it's just you don't understand. This is the latest in a long line of just bad mistakes with her education. Like, she's going for a chemistry degree, and she's very smart, and she's doing really well in school. But now everyone's going to look at it going, how well is she really doing in school, chemistry-wise, if he's her teacher?
Yeah, she'll probably have to transfer.
It's you know, all the professors there, or the men professors, are going to look at her sideways, and the women professors aren't going to look at her nice at all. This does nothing good for her. No good comes out of this for her.
It's amazing that this girl, I have no blood with her. Like, I have really no blood with her. My other nieces, like Kelly and Alyssa, but I love them all the same, you know. But this, I'm fucked up right now with this. Like, it's just,
It's
I like this
disappointing.
girl. Yeah, I mean,
she
listen, for
has
me to
everything.
fuck up, not having a mother and growing up in North Bergen and people around you doing drugs and maybe growing up in my mother's bar, this was an easy equation that I was going to have a problem somewhere accordingly in my life. I knew this as a young man. I knew this. The alcohol, you know. But you get this child who, all right, maybe she has been a little kept from society. And
She's
whatever.
been sheltered.
She's been sheltered.
Real
But
bad.
she'll have another $500,000. What, she's the only kid in that fucking neighborhood?
No, but she's
I'm
probably
not mad at you. I'm just thinking, I'm mad at life right now. I don't-
She's probably one of the few in. There's a difference between being raised in a small town and then being raised sheltered in a small town. Because you're already sheltered because you're in a small town. You can't shelter them even further because when they finally break free, just a little bit, they go bananas. I know, because I was there.
Yeah, but you didn't run away. You didn't fucking...
But her mama did.
Why couldn't you motherfuckers footloose it? Just start dancing and get a Volkswagen and dance.
Because that wasn't enough. I mean, we went crazy. I mean, like I said, look how much frickin' booze I poured down my throat. And my brother did the same. He had 2 DUIs. My sister ran away. All 3 of us did.
Do you think that comes from being sheltered, Terry?
Absolutely. It came with the threat, if you ever stepped out of line, you were going straight to hell. And then the moment you got sight of the line where you could see where you could step off, or you ran off. You didn't step off, you ran off. As soon as they weren't looking, you got just a little bit of freedom. You just ran away. Because they taught us to be independent, strong, smart people, but never fuck up. And so the chance to get out of line at all, to see if it's like a devil's advocate. If I step off this line, am I really going to fuck up? Is it really going to be as bad as they say it is? Let's find out.
Now,
so that's where it was.
You know what I went through growing up. You know, we've laughed at stupid stories of us putting bricks on the street and putting leaves over him and a car would hit him. We giggle. That's not a bad kid. That's just a stupid kid that wants to have a good time, you know.
If we had done that, we'd have got our bell.
I also know little kids. I also know, you know. So when I look at Mercy as a parent, Joe Diaz looking at Mercy, oh my God, I don't want her leaving the fucking house in my world. I wanna make money so she doesn't even have to. I mean, for a long time I was even thinking of homeschool. The Agostino's homeschool. Did you know that?
Right, yeah.
You know why? What happened? He was telling me him and his sisters are homeschooled. There's something happened. So I always lived with that fear. I would fucking not forgive myself. But then there's the flip side of the coin. How many fucking times at 10 I went to New York and my mom thought I was at a karate tournament. And I was in New York, you know, walking into a peep show. Or you know, how many fucking times? And guess what, guys? I'm fucking here. How many times at 12 did I do THC crystal and go get off the bus on 42nd Street and walk to 178th, like take a cab or take trains all the way up in between? You know how many fucking things gonna happen? I'm not even talking about when I was an adult later on. That's bullshit. There's 1,000 people walking around, oh, I could have died from doing drugs. Shut the fuck up. I'm talking about from the age of fucking 10 to 15. Do you know the messes I got myself into that? Oh my God, I seen 2 of my friends die. Before my mother died, I seen 2 of my friends die. One died the way I'm telling you. See you tomorrow. See you at school. And he went out shopping that night. He got hit by a fucking car. And the other one fucking died swimming on THC fucking crystal. So, part of me wants to shelter Mercy, but the other part of me, you know, everybody's online today. Joey and Miss Pat. When are you going to put them on the podcast? The best stories of life. If you listen to Miss Pat's stories and you listen to Joey Diaz's stories, they're the saddest fucking stories you've ever heard in your fucking life. They're called life. And that's what happens in life when you go down a wrong fucking turn. That you get pregnant. How old was she when Miss Pat got pregnant the first time?
Like 12 or something?
12, by a 25-year-old guy. And then he got her pregnant again when she's 15.
Yeah.
That's a horrible fucking story. Finding your mother on the fucking floor is a horrible story. Be kidnapped from somebody with a machine gun is a horrible fucking story. But I learned. I learned about life. I want Mercy. I could fill in the fucking blanks for Mercy the same way I fill them for you.
Well, do you think it's crazier now? Because, I mean, obviously I wasn't around then, but it seems like there's more, like, crazy people shooting up areas.
It's always
now.
been crazy.
No.
There's
more
guns
media telling you
about them.
So there was, like, it's not like there's more now. It's just we have everything.
It's
when you lived in Boston, you knew about Boston. When I remember being a kid when the people shot the McDonald's in San Diego. That was big. You were a little girl and you weren't even born yet. Like that, you got national coverage on when Jim Jones poisoned Guyana.
Yeah.
You went home and you saw that. But somebody shooting somebody at a Walmart, which didn't exist then. It was either like an Albertsons or a ShopRite.
It
I don't
existed
even know.
for us.
It existed for her. That was completely
And
different.
Kmart.
You didn't hear that right away. You heard that 4 days later. You disregarded it. Like I'm in the Bronx. I go to my mother's dry cleaner in the Bronx when I was fucking 6.
Yeah, no, you didn't hear. If it happened more than, I mean, you heard about the hostage situations in Iran, all that stuff you heard about because it was on the world platform.
You were 4 when they blew up Oklahoma City, correct?
But if
88 wasn't when I was born.
No. Yeah, so you were 6.
But you didn't hear about every time somebody beat a little kid to death.
Right.
No.
You do now.
I was young, so I don't know if I was just missing it. But I'm nowhere near wanting to have kids. But like I met Paul, and it's something that could happen now. And I think about it like, how, like, I was in the school, my senior year of high school, this kid stabbed another kid in the bathroom, and we had to go to the cafeteria and then go home. Like, how could you, like, when you're about to send Mercy to school, and you have to, and Paula made a joke, but it's true. Where she went to school in Inglewood, they didn't really have in-school shootings.
Well, we didn't have in-school shootings, but I can tell you that 2 kids sat on a train track and got hit by a train that I went to school with. Now, mind you, I grew up with a class of, my senior class had 45 people in it. So when 2 of those people, you know, you at a high school that has a maximum 150 kids in it, and 2 of those kids just got hit by a train, and then another kid has a 4-wheeler accident, and like there was 4 kids in that 4-wheeler accident. 1 got killed, 1 got maimed. You know, we may not have shootings, but we had lots of tragedy. We had 1 kid commit suicide, you know.
But the thing is like, the thing that she was joking about and we talked about is you probably want to send Mercy to like a good school in a nice area, and that seems to be the places where I want to send her
to public school.
That's where these things seem to happen, not like the bad areas.
First of all, let's get something straight. You get shot anywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Every day I hear about a kid getting bit by a dog everywhere. You got to teach your kid to be aware. You got to teach your kid to keep their fucking eyes open. You know, I yell at Terrie 10 million times. Terrie takes life different than I do, and they stole her cell phone out of her purse at Target one day. I know my wife. I watch her. I can see how many times I could pickpocket her if I was a thief. You know, I'm looking at the holes. I want her to pay more attention. I get mad at her, and I love her. You know, when she gets it, eventually she gets it. Little things like that, I could tell Mercy about. I can't teach her until she goes out and sees it.
It's hard. Like, we were at the zoo today, and all these little kids are walking next to their parents, not holding their hands, being very well behaved. And I'm like, I need to let Mercy out. I need to let her walk. Yeah. Have you met Mercy? Mercy takes off like a bat.
Bad dog.
And then I'm like, that's it. Mercy, I'm leaving. Come on, let's go. She's like, wait. And I'm like, no, Mercy, we're not waiting. Come on, wait.
Takes off like a bat, bro.
And then she turns and runs in the other direction.
A shotgun takes off. Oh my God.
And there's school kids everywhere. I've got a 2-year-old. I have to run after her with a stroller, or just abandon the stroller and run after her in the zoo. People are looking at me like I'm a nut. But I'm like, how am I ever going to get her to learn that she can't run off if I don't let her run off a little bit? She can't run too far ahead, but I got to give her a little freedom.
I give her freedom, but I worry. That's, you know,
I'm
just put her in
daycare,
and I had to go to the daycare twice. This is Joey Diaz telling you people this. Like, usually I don't give a fuck what school she goes to. I went and checked it out and looked at each teacher and judged the teacher. Like, does she have a felony? Well, you know, I went to these places.
You just went and stared them in the eye. Like,
oh yeah, fuck yeah! And there was 2 Spanish ones that made me.
I had to vet them first, so I went to like 6 different schools.
Yeah, she went to a couple of them first,
and then
background checks.
And then I picked just a few and said, okay, here's my top pick. We're going to go there first.
I just imagine, Joey, you have like a friend at the DMV somewhere. And you give them 200 and you give them like the teacher's names.
Oh my God! You know, I had to go. And there's one teacher there that's kind of creepy. I like the other ones, but she's all right. Mercy likes her, so it all works itself out. Yesterday I walked to the Y, and every piece of me wanted to walk by the school, but I had to stop myself from walking by the school because I have to break that thing off.
Does she get upset when you drop her off?
Yes, but
I haven't dropped her off.
No, I won't let him.
No.
She gets upset if he's going to go, if he drops us off in front of the house,
okay,
and then goes to park the car. She gets upset to see him drive off.
So what do you think would happen if he dropped her off?
Oh, you can't even imagine.
No. For both of us.
She gets because she knows I'm coming back. Joey goes home. Joey will go for the weekend. She gets more scared to see him leave.
She doesn't understand that he's coming back yet?
No.
That's why I leave early, so I don't have to spend half the day with her. I don't want to see her the days I leave. I leave when she's asleep, so she wakes up and doesn't see me.
And doesn't think about it.
And doesn't think about it.
She doesn't think about it. And she'll probably come to the realization, but she won't say anything. But when he comes home on Sunday, she's a little mad at him.
Even at this age, I can tell sometimes by her eyes. But
she gets over it.
I'm also coming to the realization that in a few years, if I'm still on the road, I'm going to have to take her with me. At least one time. I already know. I know what a Diaz is like.
That'd be so fun for a kid.
I know that one day she's just going to go, listen, man, I'm not going to do this unless
Clearly
you take
you've
me
never
with
traveled with Mercy.
Yeah, so you
Well,
have
when she gets to be like 6.
Well, I'm going to have to get her. I see how parents do it. They have it's the same way adults. You have to be prepared. You don't want your kid to yell and scream and have a fit. You got to be prepared. I get prepared. What does that mean for me? Weed, lighters, rolling papers, water, iced tea with the lemon and the sugar already in it, a couple fried chicken cutlets, the cable, the Roku. The computer has to be. The Wi-Fi has to be coming through. If any of those things are missing, Terry Clark, we're all the same. It's just different ages.
I'm already having to put my checklist together before I leave for Easter on the things that I have to do for Joey before I leave, so he won't call me as soon as I get to wherever I'm at to yell at me because the Wi-Fi isn't working, as if it were my fucking fault for some reason that the Wi-Fi decided to stop fucking working, and that I can. He called me the other day from Indiana. No, where were you? Austin, Texas.
Somewhere at the computer.
Yeah. The computer. Let me ask you a question. So, I got the password for the
No,
hotel.
I clicked up to disconnect, and then I pressed connect. And it's supposed to come up. A sign's supposed to come up. If you're at a Hilton, it comes up HH Hilton. And it says room number and high-speed internet. Click here, or high-speed internet, $9.95 a month. So I click the fucking arrow on the bottom. The thing pulls up, and it shows you all the Wi-Fis that you could go to. The one that's yours, you press connect, and all of a sudden, boop, a screen pops up. It takes a minute. You got to keep hitting the fucking left thing, and the screen comes from the left-hand side. Not this fucking thing. I'm dying to get the fucking info from my Gmail some guy sent me, and I can't because the thing won't send it. Then in the middle of all this, it just pops up by itself.
Then he calls me and goes, honey, can I ask you a question? So I got the thing for the hotel computer, and right then I'm just like, oh. I don't fucking know, Joey. I'm not there. I don't know what this computer is like. I don't know anything about this hotel. I don't know how their setup is. I don't know. And I don't work on Windows 8. I hate Windows 8.
Me too.
And it's on Windows 8, so I don't even know what I'm supposed to be. Even at his laptop at home, I'm like, I don't know I can't even get over to the stupid menu because you've got to drag it. It doesn't come half the time. I'm like, I don't know.
I don't fucking know either.
And I don't want to answer the question, but you getting mad at me because I don't know.
Well, who the fuck you want me to get mad at? You know about the computer? I don't know about computers.
Clearly.
I'm a burglar. I don't know nothing about computers.
You should ask Matt Fultron. We were filming an Instagram video and my phone was full, and it took me like 2 minutes to clear it, and he was pestering me every 15 seconds. You're supposed to be the king of electronics.
Yeah, because he's got fucking videos on there from old podcasts. Let me give a shout out to everybody. You're going to abandon ship, honey?
Oh, God.
Bananas.
Which ship
and
am I
it's
abandoning?
4 o'clock anyway, because the baby's ready for you.
Oh, my God. I've been here forever.
Yeah, one only stays. I love you, baby.
Yeah. I've heard it all before.
Thank you for coming and for your honesty.
Uh-huh. Thank you, Lee.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
You're
I
welcome.
love you with all my heart, baby. Give me a kiss, you savage.
I ain't giving you shit.
Dirty bitch. Give me a kiss and shit.
Kick in the ass.
We're back, motherfuckers. Cody Wheeler, I love you. Tom Bowater, Peter Garcia, The Sandman, Alberto Jimenez, Andrew Miller, and Ysidra. I love you. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Sesto or Cristo, whatever your fucking name is. And Death Squad, Nashville, and Death Squad all over the motherfucking world. I love you, motherfuckers. Thank you for being a part of our podcast today. Always a fucking pleasure. What's up, dog? How you feeling? I gave you a little piece of chocolate. It was light. You didn't
This doesn't feel light.
It was delicious. Then you ate the star. You're a fucking trooper, Lee. I fucking love you. What do you got planned for the weekend with Mama?
No plans yet. She's actually a little bit sick right now, so I don't know if I'll see her. Got a cold.
So what's the story? You just turn her head the other way and you give her a stab and she'll cough that way. Like, remember when they used to feel your nut in the 6th grade, tell you to look the other way and cough?
Oh, you're hysterical.
You finger her and you make her look the other way. That's it.
Okay.
Did she go to class today?
She did, surprisingly.
Good for her, man. Yeah, this situation today with my...
She sent me a picture today of her student loan page, She goes, over $100,000. And that's not even, she's only 2/3 of the way done.
Oh yeah, you're done.
And I just saw the bill and I was like, I felt less bad about my little bit of student loans.
Dog, like, you can turn that air off now. It's fucking freezing.
Okay.
I feel like a fucking penguin in here. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man, those student loans, they add up fast. And sometimes listen, it's like they fucking do them on purpose. They just give them to you at one point after that. Somebody already gave her, without a job, $100,000. Even if it's law school, she'll pay it off in 3 fucking years.
They're the biggest scams. Them and all the insurances.
I just don't. $100,000 fucking.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I owed like $6,000 at one time, and I felt terrible. This is a child out of fucking college.
I owe 20 right now, but that's.
What did you owe? What was the original?
Well, probably like 30, but my parents, we each split it in a third, so it's more. But my part's 20,000.
You owe 20, Jesus. What do you pay a month?
170.
That's it.
Plus another. So I pay 270 because I have 2 loans.
How much is the amount on one loan? If you don't mind me asking, I'm sorry to put you.
$20,000, and the other one's like 6, so it's almost over.
What's the 6th one?
Jewish Foundation. I applied for like a scholarship, and it was like they gave me a no interest loan.
Really?
Yeah.
So no interest? They just lent you the money for the goodness of their heart.
Yeah, I had to apply.
Weak fucking Jews, not even charging half a point. What kind of Jews are they?
Well, they only do it for Jews. They don't do it for
fucking disgrace.
No other people.
Give them the money and wipe your hands of those people. You don't want to hang out with those type of Jews. Not even a little big, not even half a point to keep you alive. You know what I'm saying? Keep the lights on. No, that's good.
$100,000.
There's a lot of money out there, Lee. They give students. There's a lot of money out there to go to school. People just have to be savvy and apply for these fucking things.
Well, savvy, but at some point, like imagine in 16 years when Mercy's going, it's going to be like $100,000 a year for regular college.
Hey, that's why she's working already. I got to type in shit and filing. I don't give a fuck, Jack.
You should put her in some baby commercials.
Nah, listen, man. It all works itself out. You know, I hear a lot of parents go, well, that's Lee's, I'm just saying your name, that's Lee's college fund. You know what, man? Half of fucking people who go to college don't have the fucking money. And they figure out a way to go. And they do the best. And you know what? They learn a tremendous fucking lesson in between. I don't believe in today's, let's pretend Mercy was 18. And Mercy came and talked to me. Believe it or not, right now, after me talking to you and me being around the Agostino, and me being around a bunch of younger guys, because I ask everybody, what college did you go to? Tom Segura, Christine, Rick Ramos, all these fucking kids are college educated, comics, okay? I always ask, and I would tell her, do me a favor, don't make a decision till you're 20. Go put away $10,000. Just, you can live at the house for free, do whatever the fuck you want. All you got to do is pay for your car payment, the gas, and put away $10,000 in 2 years for school. And then decide what the fuck you want to do. At 20, if you want to go to college, we'll do what we can. If not, you got $10,000 to get an apartment and start your fucking life. And you know the value of a dollar. You've already lived for 2 years. You know that you got to pay bills. You know that you have to do certain things and have responsibilities. And now I think you have a better grasp on it. You sending a child to college at 18, let's pretend your parents had the money, Lee, and they just paid your way. Got you a little car, you know, nothing fancy. Paid for your apartment. Will you still be the person you are today?
No. Not at all. I lived in a town where kids were getting BMWs at 16 and crashing them and getting more. And my dad, I got very lucky. My dad made a lot of money when I was really young. And he put away, I had a big piggy bank, like a huge one, in my room. And I never got an allowance. But my brother and I each had a big piggy bank. He got in like Disney World. And every week he put $20 in it. And then he had a college fund too. So when I got to college, we cracked open the piggy bank and had a few $1,000s that was mine for spending money in college. And then I had like $5,000 or something.
When was the first time you had a job? How old are you?
16. 14. That's the youngest you can get a job.
But you told me about Rite Aid and a couple places.
I worked at CVS for 2 years. I worked at Radio Shack, RIP, and I worked at the movie theater. And then all through college, I worked at the movie theater and restaurants. I've always worked. I bought my first car. It actually pissed me off. My brother got my car when I graduated high school. And my parents didn't have any money to give me a car. So I worked at CVS. And I paid for it, and then he got it. I was like, God damn it.
What they do to your car? What, you bought
no, I didn't need a car. I was in Boston.
Yeah, I don't believe in sending a child to school.
The only way you could do it is if they have this new thing where they have free community college for 2 years. If that's free, like that would have been cool. I wish I could have done that. Pay no money for the first 2 years, and then the 2 years that matter for your major, then pay a little bit of money.
I have 2 friends that have gone back to extra jobs to help their children go back to school. I have one friend that I spoke to the other day, and I'm like, where are you at? And he goes, I didn't tell you. I got a second job at night. And I'm like, you're 56 years old. You have a day job, then you go work in a freezer at night in a warehouse as a supervisor. But you have to be in this fucking cold weather all night, year round. And then I have another friend who his son defaulted on a loan, $100,000, $150,000 he owed Penn State. So my friend had to go out of retirement and get a job. He's planning on paying the debt. It's going to take him 3 years to pay the fucking college debt. So it's tough out there for a fucking pimp right now.
I understand that colleges need to make money, and it probably costs a lot of money to run a college. But at a certain point, it seems like it's going to be ridiculous.
Do you think that the education that you get at Penn State is any different than the education that you get at Valley Community College? Or is it what the student does with that education?
It's what the student's allowed to do. Because going into the only thing that ever mattered on my resume, you've talked about it, saying that no one ever asked me about my college.
It just shocks me. I'm just ashamed.
The only thing that matters is like a stamp on a passport. So the only reason to go to Penn State, for some things, then colleges do have special things they're good at. But for most degrees, or for the most part, if you went to like, let's use a state school like UMass versus Boston University of Boston, Boston University, there's not really much of a difference probably. It's just what the name brand of the college.
I don't know. It fucking scares the shit out of me. Anyway, I love you motherfuckers. Thank you for the great week and podcast. I want to thank my wife. I want to thank Lee. I want to thank you guys for really staying on me on calling my daughter. You guys made me all brand new with this. So this gives me a second. That's one less thing I got to fucking worry about. And like I said, we're not fans of nobody here. We're a fucking family. We're a network. And we scratch each other's back. And you guys elevated me to get the balls to do it. So it's not a one-way street. Thank you very much for the church. And thank you for eating the stars. And thank Anarchy. And let me thank some fucking sponsors here. My main motherfuckers over at On It, always making it happen. I heard a great rumor about On It. I can't release it to you people, but they're definitely fucking winners. They did that test on Alpha Brain, and On It's the real deal. And Joe and I were laughing on the phone the other day about my blood type, and I go, listen, I know there's THC, and I know there's fucking Shroom Tech Sports. I got no steroids in my fucking blood. There's nothing. On It is that fucking good, man. Today I rolled around jiu-jitsu. I went down to Unleashed with David, and I went crazy with him down there, and I couldn't believe how much more energy I'm getting from the Shroom Tech. It works, man. I'm really in fucking shock. Go to onit.com. Just go to the website and see all the things they have to offer you. I can't get you a deal on the fucking jumping up in the ropes and all that stuff, but on minerals, you got 10% off coming from me. Go to the Onit, go to the box and fill in what, brother?
Church,
CHURCH. You get 10% off your first order. Definitely look into Stay On It, where you get everything delivered right to your fucking house. No muss, no fuss. Also, Iron Dragon TV, my main motherfucker Dave Foley over there, making a beautiful fucking Roku channel for you motherfuckers. If you're into classic martial arts, stop fucking around. This is the Roku channel for you. And what I'm going to do for you, if you go to Roku tonight, if you go to IronDragonTV.com, I'm going to give you 2 free motherfucking rentals. What are they pressing the box, cuz? Joey, Joey, gets pressed in the motherfucking box, and you get 2 free rentals. Classic Kung Fu films, you can't fucking beat them. Also, your underwear. How much longer are you going to look at these fucking things with skid marks and moth marks and little holes, you filthy motherfuckers? Then you get worried when a chick dumps you. It all starts from the fucking inside out, motherfuckers. Go to MeUndies.com. Tremendous women and men underwears. They fit tight. They're ergonomic. They're comfortable. Today I wore those old cotton white ones to jiu-jitsu. My nutsack was popping out. That's Dave. I have him call up. He's like, put your nut in the way. Not with that. Don't happen with MeUndies. My shit's tight. My nutsack stays in. Everything stays ventilated. Do me a favor. Go to MeUndies.com right now. And look at the selection of women's and men's underwear they have. They also have T-shirts. They have fucking, I wore my MeUndies T-shirt to Jiu-Jitsu today. They have some great stuff. Sweatpants, comfortable as fuck. And at this point, you get free shipping, correct?
In the United States and Canada.
In the United States and Canada, you get 20% off. Don't believe me. Go to MeUndies.com, see what you want. Go to the box and press in.
Joey,
Joey, and get 20% off your first order with free motherfucking shipping. That's MeUndies. Also, we all like something for free.
Hell
we
yeah.
all do. Especially when you're stoned to the gills. Somebody brings you some Italian bread with a stick of butter. Who's better than you, right? Fuck all that shit. I got something better for you and healthier. NatureBox.com. And right now, NatureBox will give you a free fucking sampler. 3 little bags, 2 big bags delivered right to your house. It's going to cost you how much? $1.97 for shipping.
Just shipping.
You motherfuckers been complaining lately. Oh, it's not free. What the fuck you want?
It.
They're going to change your fucking... They're going to give you 5 free bags of stuff worth over $30. You're going to pay $1. Stop being a fucking crybaby little fucking fag. Go to fucking... Go to... The fuck you laughing about, cocksucker?
That's a great ad.
Yeah, go to naturebox.com today and get your free sample box sent right to your house delivered. And that's how they do it.
First Joey.
Every motherfucking month. So stop fucking around. Go to MeUndies. What is it? MeUndies. What the fuck am I talking about? Go to naturebox.com right now and get your free sample bag. Go to naturebox.com and press in Joey and get 10% off your first order, right? No, free.
No, free.
Fucking free. What am I talking about here? You got me all confused with your fucking, you giggle like that fucking dude. Go to MeUndies.com. No, go to naturebox.com right now and get your free motherfucking box of goodies, right? Sent to your house. Right to your door every month. Nutritious, delicious, nutritionalist approved snacks to rock your motherfucking world. Again, I want to thank On It, Iron Dragon TV, MeUndies.com, and NatureBox.com. Do you guys see what's unfolding in front of your eyes, people? Huh? Do you see what's unfolding in front of your eyes with this Tracy Morgan thing?
What happened?
They didn't let him perform at the 40th anniversary of the thing. They said he's not that good a shape. I guarantee Tracy wanted to go out, but he's got Jew attorneys that said if you show up there, Walmart will be watching, and they're gonna fucking they'll use that against you when you go to court. That's an old Jew trick.
So that he was okay enough to go on the show or something?
Yeah, they'll say you were okay to walk on the show because he said he'll never be able to perform ever again. That's to get a big number. They'll do the times. What were you making a year? $3 million a year. How old are you? I'm 48 years old. He still had 22 years at $2 million a fucking year. You follow? You understand how Jews work, brother?
I feel
Just trying to teach you motherfuckers a little fucking Jewish mentality, yeah? So that's how it's done. So just Tracy Morgan's okay. I mean, he's fucked up, but Walmart's going in heavy, and so is Tracy Morgan. Tracy Morgan got to go in heavy. I didn't know he didn't perform. I thought he was there.
I didn't watch it, and I've never really watched SNL.
They said they had a tribute to him, but I wasn't. You know, an SNL guy.
No, it wasn't good when I was young.
Oh, okay, all right, no worries. I never.
My parents, my mom really liked it.
You're looking good, brother. I'm happy we had a good time on the podcast this
fun.
week, and we all learned something about fucking life. All right, cocksucker. Stay black. Have a great weekend. I'm going to be at the Crackers Comedy next weekend in Indianapolis, and the weekend after that, I'm going to be in motherfucking Hilarities in Cleveland, Ohio. I'm going back to the O. So if you're in the local area, come on by and see me. Besides that, I'd like to thank On It, Iron Dragon TV, MeUndies.com, and NatureBox. And I want to thank you guys for listening today. Have a great weekend. Stay black. Remember, Uncle Joey loves you.
Now that the show's over, don't forget to go to naturebox.com and sign up to get your free sampler box of great tasting healthy snacks. Forget the vending machine and start snacking smarter with delicious treats like barbecue kettle kernels. Go to naturebox.com/Joey. That's naturebox.com/Joey. Go to MeUndies.com and check out the pics of all the different styles of underwear. And for the girls, they have hot-looking boy shorts. Right now, when you go to MeUndies.com/Joey, you're going to get 20% off your first order with free shipping in the United States and Canada. Go to onit.com, use code word church to get 10% off all of their great optimization products. And go to IronDragonTV.com and use code word Joey to get 2 free rentals of all of their great martial arts movies.